Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share with you a simple yet life-changing truth. Discipline is freedom. At first, it sounds like a contradiction. Discipline feels like rules, restrictions, sacrifice, and even struggle. Freedom feels like choice, flexibility, and living without limits. But if you look deeper, you'll see that without discipline, freedom cannot exist. Think about it. When you have the discipline to wake up early, you gain the freedom of extra hours in your day hours that others waste in bed. When you have the discipline to control your spending, you gain the freedom to live without debt, the freedom to invest, the freedom to build your dreams. When you have the discipline to eat healthy and exercise, you gain the freedom to move with strength, to live longer, and to enjoy life without the chains of poor health. Discipline is not a prison. Discipline is a tool. It's the bridge between who you are today and who you want to become tomorrow. Without it, your dreams stay dreams. With it, your dreams become reality. Ask yourself this: what's harder, the discipline of sacrifice now or the pain of regret later? The discipline of saying no to comfort today or the pain of being stuck tomorrow? Every time you choose discipline, you choose freedom. Freedom from weakness, freedom from excuses, freedom from fear. Greatness is never built on shortcuts. Champions are not born, they are forged by discipline. Every athlete, every leader, every successful person you admire has embraced this truth. They don't wait for motivation. They don't rely on luck. They rely on discipline, because motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. So, if you want freedom in your life, freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom of success, then you must choose discipline. Wake up early, train your body, master your mind, control your habits, and watch how the chains of limitation fall away. My friends, discipline is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is the key to freedom. Embrace it, live it, and you will unlock a life beyond what you thought was possible. Thank you. Discipline creates time, freedom time, the most precious resource we all have. Unlike money, once it's gone, you can never earn it back. Unlike possessions, you can never replace it. Every single one of us gets the same 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. Yet, some people achieve greatness, while others remain stuck in the same place year after year. Why? The difference is not in the amount of time they have, but in how disciplined they are with it. Discipline creates time freedom. Let me explain. If you wake up without discipline, you drift. You snooze the alarm, scroll through your phone, waste minutes, then hours, and suddenly the day is gone. You are left wondering, where did the time go? But when you wake up with discipline, you gain control of your hours. Waking up early is not about suffering. It's about gaining freedom. Freedom to work on your goals before the world distracts you. Freedom to move ahead while others are still asleep. Think of the most successful people you know of. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, creators, they all operate with a strict routine. They don't leave their day to chance. They don't let distractions steal their time. They plan, they execute, and they stay consistent. That's discipline, and the result: they buy themselves more time. Not because they magically get more hours in the day, but because they cut out the waste. Consider this. If you waste just 2 hours a day on things that don't matter, scrolling social media, watching endless TV, gossiping that adds up to 14 hours a week, that's 56 hours a month. That's nearly 700 hours in a year. Imagine what you could do with 700 hours. You could learn a new skill, start a business, write a book, master your body, or change your life entirely. And all it takes is discipline to protect your time. Discipline also removes the chaos of indecision. How often do we waste time just thinking, should I do this now or later? Should I start or wait? A disciplined person doesn't ask. They act. They stick to the plan. They save themselves from wasting energy on hesitation and use that energy for execution. That is freedom, freedom from procrastination, freedom from stress, freedom from the weight of unfinished tasks. But here's the deeper truth. Time freedom is not just about doing more, it's about being more. When you discipline yourself to control your time, you create space for what truly matters. You create time to spend with your loved ones, time to pursue passions, time to rest properly, and time to live fully. Think about it, the person who disciplines themselves to finish work on time gets to enjoy their evenings without stress. The student who disciplines themselves to study daily gains the freedom to walk into exams with confidence. The professional who disciplines themselves to manage their schedule gets the freedom to take vacations without fear of falling behind. Discipline gives you control, and control gives you freedom. Without discipline, you become a slave to time. You are always running late, always stressed, always rushing. But with discipline, you master time. You are calm, prepared, and in control, and that control is freedom. So, if you want more freedom in your life, don't look for shortcuts, don't look for hacks, look for discipline, wake up early, plan your day. Guard your hours like treasure, because the truth is simple. When you master your time with discipline, you unlock the greatest freedom of all, the freedom to live life on your own terms. Discipline builds financial freedom. Money is powerful, but money without discipline is dangerous. You can earn a high salary, win the lottery, or build a business, yet without the discipline to manage your finances, you will still struggle, still stress, and still feel trapped. On the other hand, even an average income, when handled with discipline, can build wealth, security, and freedom. That's the secret most people overlook. Financial freedom is not built on how much you make, but on how disciplined you are with what you have. Discipline is the foundation of financial freedom. Let's be real. We live in a world of temptations. New gadgets, flashy cars, expensive clothes, endless sales everywhere you turn. Someone is trying to get you to spend, and it's easy to give in. It feels good for a moment. But then comes the stress. The bills pile up, the debt grows, the savings shrink. Without financial discipline, freedom vanishes. You're chained to your paycheck, forced to work just to survive, unable to choose the life you truly want. But with discipline, everything changes. Imagine this. Instead of spending every dollar you earn, you practice restraint. You save consistently. You invest wisely. You live below your means, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to delay gratification. That discipline pays you back in freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from financial stress, freedom to make choices based on what you want, not on what you owe. Think about the discipline of budgeting. Some people see budgets as restrictions, a prison for their money. But in truth, a budget is freedom. A budget tells your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. A budget ensures your priorities are funded first, your goals are moving forward, and your future is secure. Discipline in budgeting may feel tough at first, but it creates freedom later, freedom to take a trip, freedom to retire early, freedom to live without fear of running out. The same is true for saving and investing. It takes discipline to set aside money every month, especially when you'd rather spend it. It takes discipline to resist the latest trends and instead put your money to work. But what does that discipline give you? Compounding returns, growing wealth, the peace of mind that comes from knowing your future is secure, and most importantly, it gives you choices. Choices to travel, to start a business, to take risks, to support your family, or even to walk away from a job you no longer love. That is financial freedom, and it only comes through discipline. Let's take another perspective. Financial discipline isn't just about what you save, it's about what you avoid. It's the discipline to say no to debt traps, to refuse credit card overspending, to avoid chasing status with purchases that add no real value to your life. Every unnecessary loan you avoid, every impulse buy you skip, every paycheck you respect. That's discipline protecting your freedom. History is full of examples of people who earned millions but lost everything because they lacked financial discipline. Athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, some went broke not because they didn't earn enough, but because they didn't control their spending. On the flip side, countless ordinary people have retired wealthy, not because they earned a fortune, but because they disciplined themselves to save, invest, and live wisely. Here's the truth: financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen through luck. It happens through daily choices, consistent habits, and disciplined action. So ask yourself, do you want to work for money your whole life, or do you want your money to work for you? The difference lies in discipline, the discipline to control your impulses, the discipline to plan your spending, the discipline to invest in your future. Because in the end, money without discipline is slavery, but money with discipline is freedom. Discipline ensures health freedom, there's a saying. A healthy person has 1,000 dreams, but a sick person has only one to get healthy again. That statement alone shows how deeply health is tied to our freedom. You may have money, opportunities, and ambition, but if your body fails you, all of it becomes meaningless. And here's the truth, health isn't luck, it's discipline. Discipline ensures health freedom. Think about it. Every time you choose to exercise when you don't feel like it, you're choosing freedom, freedom to run without pain, freedom to play with your kids, freedom to climb stairs without struggling for breath. Every time you say no to junk food and yes to real nourishment, you're choosing freedom, the freedom to avoid disease, the freedom to stay strong, the freedom to live longer. But many people sacrifice their health for short-term comfort. They hit snooze instead of training. They choose convenience food instead of healthy meals. They stay up late instead of getting rest. In the moment, it feels easier. But later they pay the price. High blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, stress, exhaustion, these are chains that limit freedom. You can't fully live when your body is constantly holding you back. Now let's flip that. When you have the discipline to care for your body, you unlock a life without limits. Discipline in exercise gives you energy. Discipline in diet gives you vitality. Discipline in rest gives you recovery. All of this adds up to freedom, freedom to use your body the way it was meant to be used, freedom to enjoy life on your own terms, freedom to live without being controlled by illness. Think about the discipline of working out. It's never easy at first. The alarm rings, your body says stay in bed. Your mind says skip it today. But discipline says do it anyway. And when you push through, the result is more strength, more confidence, more life. The short-term pain of discipline turns into the long-term freedom of health. The same applies to eating. Discipline doesn't mean you can never enjoy food. It means you control food, not the other way around. It means choosing balance, making smart decisions, and fueling your body for performance instead of poisoning it with excess. That kind of discipline doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. And let's not forget rest. In today's world, people glorify hustling 24/7, burning out and pushing themselves to the edge. But true discipline means knowing when to recover. Sleep, meditation, and mental recharge are not weaknesses, they are strengths. They are acts of discipline that give you the freedom to perform at your best. Here's the key. Health freedom is about prevention, not reaction. Most people wait until their health collapses before they act. They wait until the doctor delivers bad news before they change their habits. But discipline allows you to act before the crisis. Discipline keeps you ahead. It protects your freedom before you even realize it's at risk. Look at athletes, soldiers, or leaders. Their bodies are their tools, their vehicles. They cannot afford to be weak. Their discipline in training is what gives them the freedom to perform when it matters most. Now think of your own life. You may not be on a battlefield, but you're in a battle every day against stress, against fatigue, against the slow creep of unhealthy habits. Discipline is your weapon. So ask yourself this. Do you want to spend your life paying hospital bills, chained by illness and regret? Or do you want the freedom to live strong, to move without pain, to enjoy the years ahead with vitality? The choice is in your hands. Discipline may feel hard today, but sickness is harder tomorrow. Choose discipline now, and you'll gain the ultimate freedom, the freedom of health. Discipline is stronger than motivation. We live in a world obsessed with motivation. Scroll through social media, and you'll find endless motivational quotes, videos, and speeches telling you to get inspired, find your why, or stay motivated. And yes, motivation feels good. It's that burst of energy, that spark that pushes you forward. But here's the problem. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is temporary. Motivation is like a flame in the wind. It flickers, it fades, and sometimes it disappears completely. That's why you can't build your life, your dreams, or your future on motivation alone. If you rely only on motivation, you'll quit the moment it gets hard, the moment you feel tired, or the moment you lose excitement. But if you rely on discipline, you'll keep going no matter what. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you moving. And that is why discipline is stronger than motivation. Think about this. How many times have you felt motivated to start something, a new diet, a workout plan, a business idea, but as soon as the excitement wore off, so did your effort? That's because motivation comes and goes with your mood, but discipline doesn't care about your mood. Discipline is action despite emotion. Discipline says, I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway. And that is what separates those who succeed from those who only dream. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who are the most motivated. They are the ones who are the most disciplined. Athletes don't train every day because they wake up motivated. They train every day because they are disciplined. Soldiers don't follow their routines because they feel like it. They follow them because discipline demands it. Writers, entrepreneurs, leaders, they don't wait for inspiration to strike. They sit down day after day and put in the work. That's discipline. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it feels heavy, uncomfortable, even painful. But with practice, discipline becomes part of you. And once it's part of you, it carries you through the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people starting a fitness journey. Person A is fired up, motivated, ready to transform. They train hard for 2 weeks, but then the excitement wears off. They miss 1 day, then 2, then stop altogether. Person B, on the other hand, makes a disciplined plan. They commit to showing up no matter what, even if it's just for 20 minutes. They stick to the schedule. They don't rely on motivation, and months later, who has results? The disciplined one. Always. Discipline gives you consistency, and consistency gives you results. Motivation might help you take one giant leap, but discipline helps you take steady steps every single day. And in the long run, those steady steps will always take you further than one big leap fueled by motivation. Here's the truth. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is a resident. Motivation visits you now and then, but discipline lives with you every day. Motivation is the spark that lights the fire, but discipline is the wood that keeps it burning through the night. So, stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect mood. Instead, build discipline, create routines, set rules for yourself, train your mind to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. That is real power, because in the end, motivation is about feeling, and feelings change. Discipline is about commitment, and commitment lasts. Motivation might inspire you, but discipline will transform you. So remember this. Don't chase motivation. Build discipline, because discipline will be there when motivation has left you behind. Discipline prevents regret. One of the heaviest burdens a human being can carry is not failure, it's regret. Failure teaches you lessons, builds resilience, and gives you another chance to try again. But regret is different. Regret whispers, you could have, but you didn't. You should have, but you didn't. You had the chance, and you let it slip away. And nothing stings more than realizing that the life you wanted could have been yours, if only you had the discipline to pursue it. That's why I say this with conviction. Discipline prevents regret. Think about it. Every day, life presents you with choices. The choice to wake up early or stay in bed. The choice to eat healthy or indulge in junk. The choice to study, work, or practice your craft, or to waste the day in distractions. In the moment, choosing discipline feels hard. It feels restrictive. It feels uncomfortable. But in the future, it protects you from regret. Because the pain of discipline today is far lighter than the pain of regret tomorrow. Ask the athlete who skipped training for months. Ask the student who ignored their studies until the night before the exam. Ask the professional who wasted years avoiding growth only to watch others surpass them. What do they feel? Regret. Regret for not showing up. Regret for not preparing. Regret for not being disciplined when it mattered most. Now, compare that with the athlete who trained even when it was tough, the student who disciplined themselves to study daily, or the professional who consistently worked on their skills. When the moment of opportunity came, they were ready. They may have felt the sting of sacrifice, but they didn't feel the weight of regret. Discipline protected them. The truth is, life will test you either way. You will feel pain no matter what the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. But you get to choose which pain you carry. The pain of discipline is temporary. It lasts for moments, minutes, maybe hours. But the pain of regret can last a lifetime. Which one would you rather live with? Discipline is the armor that shields you from future regret. It ensures that when you look back on your life, you can say, I gave it my all. I didn't waste my time. I did the hard things. I lived fully. Imagine reaching the end of your life with no what-ifs, no if-onlys, no I wish I had. That kind of peace only comes through the daily practice of discipline. Think of history's great achievers. They weren't superhuman. They didn't have more hours in a day than the rest of us. What they had was discipline, the discipline to work when others quit, the discipline to persist when others gave up. And because of that, they left behind legacies, not regrets. But this isn't just about great achievers. This is about you. Your choices today determine whether you'll live with freedom or with regret tomorrow. If you discipline yourself to take care of your health now, you'll avoid the regret of illness later. If you discipline yourself to save and invest now, you'll avoid the regret of financial struggle later. If you discipline yourself to build relationships, pursue dreams, and use your time wisely, you'll avoid the regret of missed opportunities. Regret is the price of undisciplined living. Discipline is the investment in a regret-free life. So the next time you don't feel like doing the hard thing, remind yourself, this small act of discipline today will save me from the heavy weight of regret tomorrow. In the end, discipline is not just about success. It's about peace. It's about looking back and knowing you didn't waste the one life you were given. And that is why discipline prevents regret. Ladies and gentlemen, we've explored how discipline shapes every area of our lives. Discipline creates time freedom, giving us control over the most valuable resource we have. Discipline builds financial freedom, ensuring our hard work leads to security instead of stress. Discipline ensures health freedom, protecting our bodies and giving us the strength to live fully. Discipline proves itself stronger than motivation, carrying us forward long after feelings fade. And finally, discipline prevents regret, allowing us to look back on life without the weight of what if. The truth is simple but powerful. Discipline is not a prison, it is the key to freedom. Freedom from excuses, freedom from weakness, freedom from fear, freedom from living a life of regret. Every great achievement, every dream fulfilled, every legacy created has discipline at its core. Success is not built in one big leap, but in small disciplined steps, taken consistently over time. So I ask you, what kind of life do you want to live? One of limits, excuses, and regrets, or one of freedom, strength, and fulfillment? The answer lies in your daily choices. The choice to be disciplined today, the choice to take control, the choice to pay the price now so you can enjoy the reward later. Remember this, discipline may feel hard in the moment, but it is far easier than a lifetime of regret. Choose discipline, and you choose freedom. Thank you.